this is such a nascent industry in this form, in all aspects, which means our history, our mental sort of history is very short as well. And so R&D takes time. Innovation takes time. And people are not there yet. I liken this a little bit to the tech boom of the late 90s as well, right? People were just throwing stuff against the wall. And then it blew up, and a lot of things that shouldn't have been thrown against the wall went away. And then it evolved into something that had a bit more of a long-term view around how do we change the entire ecosystem of how we live our lives through technology. And I wonder if we're not sort of at the beginning of that also with cannabis, because it touches so many different industries when you look at the totality of the plant.
I'd like to make a plug for advocacy. You know, I think it's really important that companies put their time, their energy, and their money behind organizations and campaigns that are going to bring down some of the challenges that our industry faces. You know, regardless of whether that's a local group that's trying to change laws in your state, country, city, whatever the case may be, or if it's providing support of a patient's group, whatever the case may be, or if it's showing up at your federal government's hearing about cannabis laws. You know, these are all things that we've got to take the initiative to be involved in. I also want to encourage all of your members who are listening to get involved with industry associations that are going to be a part of helping develop good business practices and raising the bar. You know, I feel like there are two types of people and two types of companies. Either you're part of the problem or part of the solution. And, you know, the more hands on deck that are trying to address these challenges that we have as an industry, the better we will all be, and we will get much farther faster, the more who are involved in advocacy.
I couldn't agree more. The advisory committee for the GCNC is made up of people from all over the world, and they come from all these different angles. Some of it's the science, some of it's the business, the legal. One thing that is common across every single one of them is that they are engaged in their region, and oftentimes multiple regions, in furthering the discussion around advocacy in their areas of expertise. Because we talked about efficacy and we talked about differentiation and how we're innovating. And ultimately, if we don't, as an industry, push forward those kinds of ideas, none of that matters, because it truly will just continue to be throw stuff against the wall, and whoever happens to be able to sell a product a couple of times wins. And that's not the long game.